Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Spectre here with another edition of Midnight Rider. Good to have you aboard. Today on the broadcast, I thought we'd do something a little bit different. We're going to call this episode 28 from the archives. We're going to revisit the first 128 posts in that, dating all the way back to October-November time frame of 2017. Wait a minute here for everything to get fired up. Looks like we've got YouTube up, Twitch is up, still waiting on D-Live here, and of course the folks over on Tora 3, aka Tiger Network. Good to have you guys aboard here. So we'll go ahead and kick this off here momentarily. Let me see if I can get this switched up here real quick. See if I can resend and get D-Live aboard. There we go. Let's see here. Bear with me. Try one more time here to get her to go. There we go. Alright, we are up across the board. Good to have you aboard. Let's hit it. Platforms may be hazardous to your health. Censorship coming. This has been a PSA by Breaking Spectre. Alright, welcome back. Looks like I might be having a little bit of choppiness. I don't know if I got buffering out there. It looks like I'm good signal-wise on the back end here, so I don't know if it's just the transmitting net through everything here. I'm not real sure, but hopefully we can get through this here today. So today on the broadcast, like I said, I think it would behoove us in this precipice in time in which we find ourselves here now 5 days out from Inauguration Day, take a trip down memory lane. Let's take a trip back and look at the initial 128 posts in that from back in the day. And we're going to do it a little bit old school style. I'm going to do it as how I archived it from back then when I first caught onto this back in October, November 2017. So I'm going to mix it up a little bit here today. I'm going to go off of what I actually archived and PDF'd, and I can go ahead and drop the link out there for you guys that want to follow along. You can go ahead and grab it off my Patreon site. I will caution you and say this. Once the link is dropped, it's going to automatically open and allow you to download directly from my Patreon site where I've got this currently presiding. And so this is going to be exactly as we caught them back in the day off of 4chan, which is where the Anon initially started posting back October-November time frame. Mind you, this was before we had such nice tools like QAG and many other tools from or that we have here today. Back then, it took us a little while before we even had something called GitHub.io to where things could be actually aggregated off of the boards. So this is going to be look and feel as if it came directly off of the half-chan from back in the day. So that being said, let's see here. Behind the scenes, of course, what am I going to be covering? Well, this is the graphic in question here. So let me bring that up. This was commonly known as the map from back in the day, and of course there was a lot of confirmation back and forth between the Anons and the Anon, known as Q Patriot at the time. And of course all of this had been confirmed in order, and of course as we get into the graphic, I'm going to go through it one by one here today till we get all the way to the end. And of course, keep in mind there are some posts in that do show up in the actual graphic that do not show up on the aggregators. So I'm going to try my best here behind the scenes, as I've got this archived in many different facets here, to try and hit some of those as well and kind of intersperse them. So that being said, let me go ahead and get this brought up. We'll bounce over to QAG. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let me get brought up what I've got here. So I'm going to leave the QAG map and that up here and probably follow through with that, as well as my own book and that I archived this from back in 2017. Let's just take a quick trip through what was going on in 2017. Now, if you remember right, a lot of this started shortly after the Las Vegas incident that took place toward the beginning of the month. So there was a lot of that stuff going on. And of course, this is some of the articles that I grabbed prior to the inception of what was going on in 4chan. And we'll get into that here momentarily. But guess what else happened? Trump receives hero's welcome in Beijing as Chinese roll out the red carpet. Where have we heard that before? And do you remember exactly where POTUS was, who he met, and where they met at the time? Think back to that. What was going on? What did we find out? Do you remember what was said, or did we hear anything out of the Forbidden City at the time? Flash forward to now and think of what all is playing out. It's very, very interesting and very telling, isn't it? So that being said, I'm going to just go ahead and jump into where I've got these archived in my booklet here. And again, this is going to be as it was pulled off of FrQm back in the day. The bad part is, of course, I started maybe about a day late before I finally caught on to all this off the boards. Luckily, I had found it on a forum and that I was on at that given time. And let's see, back then it was rather interesting because nobody really knew exactly what this was. So I says, well, all right, well, I'm already archiving all this other stuff and doing these things behind the scenes and had been for quite some time. I says, I'll just add this to the list. So unfortunately, I missed the first couple, 2-3 posts here. And so I'm going to have to bounce over to QAG to grab the first couple in that regard before we kick off. So that being said, let me go ahead and bounce over to QAG here. We'll pull up the first couple 2-3 posts. And we start off affectionately known as Post 0 because when everybody started to catch on to this, the Anon at the time was responding to another Anon that started off. And so it kind of behooved us to say, all right, well, this must be then Post 0. So back then, this was on October 28th, 2017, about 15:33:50, affectionately known as Post 0. Hillary Clinton will be arrested 7:45 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday, the morning on October 30th, 2017. And a lot of folks were pretty flabbergasted by that statement. Did that actually happen? We don't know. But there was a lot of speculation, certainly, because it wasn't too long after that people tended to notice a little ankle bracelet in that underneath her pant leg. And so, of course, things began to swirl, and we monitored the situation back in the day. And, of course, what do we see and play out here today? Is she arrested? Has she been prosecuted? No, I don't think so. But, again, flashing forward here through this, you got to consider that we're more or less watching a movie. We're bystanders at this point. So post number 1, back on October 28th, 1644-28, responding to the first post, the 0 post, if you will, says HRC extradition already in motion, effective yesterday with several countries in case of cross-border run. Passport approved to be flagged effective 10:30 at 12:01 a.m. Expect massive riots organized in defiance and others fleeing the U.S. to occur. USMs, perhaps Marines, I'm assuming. I think that's what we assumed. Will conduct the operation while NG activated. National Guard. Proof check. Locate a NG member and ask if activated for duty 10:30 across most major cities. Interesting. Down to post 2. Still on October 28th, 2017, came through at 18:15:48. Mockingbird. HRC detained, not arrested yet. Where is Huma? Follow Huma. Of course, meaning Huma Abedin, her sidekick at the time. Says this has nothing to do with Russia. Yet. Why does POTUS surround himself with generals? What is military intelligence? Why go around the 3-letter agencies? What Supreme Court case allows for the use of MI versus congressional assembled and approved agencies? Who has ultimate authority over our branches of military without approval conditions unless 90 plus in wartime conditions? What is the military code? Where is AW being held? Why? AW presumably at the time, if I recall, Anthony Weiner. And so, continues, POTUS will not go on TV to address the nation. POTUS must isolate himself to prevent negative optics. POTUS knew removing criminal rogue elements as a first step was essential to free and pass legislation. Who has access to everything classified? Do you believe HRC, Soros, Obama, etc. have more power than Trump? Fantasy. Whoever controls the office of the presidency controls this great land. They never believed for a moment they, Democrats and Republicans, would lose control. This is not a R versus D battle. Why did Soros donate all his money recently? Why would he place all his funds in a RC? Mockingbird, 10/30/17. God bless, fellow patriots. So that post certainly was enough to cause folks to take notice, certainly. Continuing on, says in post number 3 from now October 29th, 2017 at 11:47:07, says open your eyes. It finally came out that Rod/Bob were key players in the uranium scandal. Don't you think POTUS would be tweeting about removal given clear conflict? Why did POTUS meet Bob under the cover of FBI director interview? This in Trump Tower, as it were, if only to be a fly on the wall at that time. Bob is unable to serve as director per the law. Gowdy comments on Comey. History will. POTUS has everything. Not everyone is corrupt. Fewer than you think. Follow Huma. Operation Mockingbird. Priority to clean out the bad actors to unite people behind the America First agenda. Many in our government worship Satan. Not about Republicans versus Democrats at this stage. Where is HRC? Why is the NG called up across 12 cities? Trust in your president. God bless, patriots. So then, that's where I picked up from the archives here, and so I'll go ahead and switch over to that for ease of seeing here. This is, like I said, as it came off of the boards at the time. So this post, number 4, from the QAG side here, says, on October 29th, 12/11/40, some of us come here to drop crumbs. Just crumbs. POTUS is 100% insulated. Any discussion suggesting he's even a target is false. POTUS will not be addressing the nation on any of these issues as people begin to be indicted and must remain neutral for pure optical reasons. To suggest this is the plan is false and should be common sense. Focus on military intelligence / state secrets and why that be used versus any 3-letter agency. What SC decision, Supreme Court decision, opened the door for a sitting president to activate? What must be showed? Why is POTUS surrounded by generals? Again, there are a lot more good people than bad, so have faith. This was a hostile takeover from an evil, corrupt network of players, not just Dems. Don't fool yourself into thinking Obama, Soros, Roths, Clintons, etc. have more power present day than POTUS. Operation Mockingbird. Patriots are in control. Sit back and enjoy the show. So then we get into number 5 here, October 29th, 2017, 12:47:18. And so it says, follow the money. It's the key. And we'll hear key mentioned many a times throughout. But what is Pelosi's net worth, by way of one example? Why, coincidentally, is her memory apparently going? Cover for possible future indictments to plead what? What if John M. McCain never had surgery, and that was a cover for a future out, if needed, against prosecution? Why did Soros transfer his bulk public funds to ANP, nonprofit? Note, this doesn't include massive slush funds that are pulled by several high-ups. Why did Soros' son have several meetings with Canadian PM, and how is that related to the Clintons? PM obviously meaning Trudeau. Can you rely on being able to board a plane and fly away? Why is MS-13 a priority? Nobody got this. Could people pay such gangs to kill opponents, and why/how to insulate against exposure? The truth is mind-blowing and cannot be fully exposed. Also, many are thinking from one point of view, U.S. only. This evil is embedded globally. U.S. is the first domino. Have faith. And so then we get to post number 6. Came through October 29th, 2017 at 21:48:50. Says some of us come here to drop crumbs, just crumbs. Again, POTUS is 100% insulated. Any discussion suggesting he's even a target is false. Follow Huma tomorrow. POTUS will not be addressing Nation on any of these issues as people begin to be indicted and must remain neutral for pure optical reasons. To suggest this is a plan is false and should be common sense. Focus on military intelligence/state secrets and why might that be used versus any 3-letter agency. Again, what Supreme Court decision opened the door for a sitting president to activate? What must be showed? Why is POTUS surrounded by generals? Again, there are a lot more good people than bad, so have faith. This was a hostile takeover from an evil, corrupt network of players, not just Dems. Don't fool yourself into thinking Obama, Soros, Ross, Clintons, etc. have more power present day than POTUS. Follow the money. It's the key. And again, we get into what is Pelosi's net worth by way of one example. Why, coincidentally, is her memory apparently going? Cover for possible future indictments. To plead what? What if John M. McCain never had surgery, and that was a cover for a future out if needed against prosecution? Why did Soros transfer his bulk public funds to a non-profit? Note, this doesn't include massive slush funds that are pulled by several high-ups. Why did Soros' son have several meetings with Canadian PM, and how is that related to the Clintons? Why is MS-13 a priority? Could people pay such gangs to kill opponents, and why/how to insulate against exposure? The truth is mind-blowing and cannot fully be exposed. These people are evil. Operation Mockingbird. So then we get to post number 7 from October 29th, 2017, 28:58:37. Says, why wasn't HRC prosecuted for the emails? Put simply, Obama ultimately okayed by using the non-government email ADDI to communicate with Clinton. Obama also had an alias along with each of his cabinet members. Therefore, indicting HRC would lead to indicting Obama and his cabinet, etc., which could never happen. Remember, he lied about knowing, but that ultimately came out in the dump. Poof. And so that is this post here. But, of course, as you note here, this pink one does not show up in QAG, so I'm going to go ahead and touch back upon that. And hopefully, folks, if it's buffering, maybe try refreshing. Hopefully the signal's on the good on that side, because I appear to be green on this side. So I'm not sure what exactly is going on there. That being said, like I said, the pink one here in the middle of October 29th, 2017 came through at 22:35:45, stating and talking about Pelosi here. It says, what is Pelosi's net worth by way of one example? Why, coincidentally, is her memory apparently going? cover for possible future indictments to plead what? And the response to that was, I thought this as soon as the Capitol Hill pharmacist fills Alzheimer prescriptions article. I was like, what the hell? How is he going to have customers after this? And there was a story out of Stat News at the time, Pharmacist Congress Drug Delivery. This story is planted 100%. And I do recall that particular article talking about how many members of Congress were on some sort of pharmaceuticals at the time. So carrying on, we get into post number 8. Came through October 29, 2017 at 22:18:17. Huma, husband in jail, HRC, Muslim Brotherhood, or child. What would you do? Kiss your child goodbye and leave without a mother or father for Clinton? Where is Huma today? Was she with HRC on her book tour? Regarding military intelligence / state secrets, no FBI. POTUS installed his people within each top spot at each 3-letter agency, except one. Good reason. There, as Admiral R. Rogers kickstarted this and scrubbed all POTUS nominations to verify oath. Do you think they aren't in control of those respective agencies? What is most valuable? Information. AG Sessions on leakers. Fire or prosecute. Reorg is underway and happening. Coincidence. Senate Republicans pushing for Fed judge confirmations last week. Why are Senate Republicans dropping out? Not by choice, and were offered a choice. Rest assured, they will vote pro-Trump. Interesting. Again, as I look at this, I'm kind of thinking this in the context of not only what took place back in October 2017 and things to come then, but also looking at it from the perspective of what is going on now. So carrying on, post number 9, 10/29/2017, 22/30/26. Projection. D's can't lose control over the black population. At some point, the Great Awakening will occur, whereby these false local national black leaders are corrupt and paid off to help keep the black pop poor and in need. These formed the Confederate States against freeing slaves. These formed the KKK. HRC's mentor is who? Mr. Byrd, by chance? And what happens if the truth about Haiti is released? Do D's lose majority of the vote? Through the looking glass. They rely on the MSM to keep the narrative going, but tech is entrenching on their controls. They missed this in 2016 and desperately attempting to censor now due to CIA cash infusions. This will fail. And of course, again, looking at this in the context of what is playing out here today, the censorship obviously is very real. Continuing on. Post number 10 came through October 29, 2017 at 22:57:27. Remember, the FBI and MI, military intelligence, have an open investigation into the CF, Clinton Foundation. Why did Comey drop this? Who was the FBI director during the Haiti crisis? How many kids disappeared? How much money sent to CF under disguise of H relief went to H? Hurricane relief went to Hillary, presumably. And what countries donated big money to the Clinton Foundation and why? How much was owed by accepting? When she lost, how would this be repaid? What did Obama do with cash just prior to leaving office? Repayment to those who donated for favors / access? Dig. Again, good people were forced into bed with this evil under personal and family threats. Could you live with yourself, helping to cover up such evil, despicable acts, if given a safe way out? These people worship Satan. Some openly show it. Off to number 11, 10/29/2017 at 23/2011. Key. Military intelligence versus FBI, CIA, NSA. No approval or congressional oversight. State secrets upheld under SC, Supreme Court. Who is the commander and chief of the military? Under what article can the president impose MI takeover investigations for the 3-letter agencies? What conditions must present itself? Why is this so very important? Who surrounds POTUS? They lost this very important power, the one area of the government not corrupt and directly serves POTUS. Very interesting. And number 12 came through October 30th, 2017, 26 minutes past midnight, 53 seconds. Says, military intelligence ref above is the absolute biggest inside drop this board will ever receive. Now think about why Antifa plays right into the plan. Always ahead. Good guys are winning. And post number 13, October 30th, 2017, 34 minutes past the hour, 36 seconds. Now think about the timing of POTUS traveling to China/SK, South Korea. I've said too much. God bless, Patriots. And so, yes, he had just traveled to China at the time. So continuing on. Post number 14, October 31st, 2017, 2300 hours, 15 seconds. SCIF and kill brackets, SCIF, military intelligence. What is state secrets and how upheld in the Supreme Court? What must be completed to engage MI, military intelligence, over other three-letter agencies? What must occur to allow for civilian trials? Why is this relevant? What was Flynn's background? Why is this relevant? Why did Admiral R. Rogers, NSA, meet Trump privately without authorization? Does POTUS know where the bodies are buried? Does POTUS have the goods on most bad actors? Was Trump asked to run for president? Why? By who? Was HRC next in line? Was the election supposed to be rigged? Did good people prevent the rigging? Why did POTUS form a panel to investigate? Has POTUS ever made a statement that did not become proven as true/fact? What is POTUS in control of? What is the one organization left that isn't corrupt? Why does the military play such a vital role? Why is POTUS surrounded by highly respected generals? Who guards former presidents? Why is that relevant? Who guards HRC? Why is Antifa allowed to operate? Why hasn't the MB, the Muslim Brotherhood, been classified as a terrorist org? What happens if Soros-funded operations get violent and engage in domestic terrorism? What happens if mayors/police comms chiefs do not enforce the law? What authority does POTUS have specifically over the Marines? Why is this important? What is Mueller's background? Military? Was Trump asked to run for president with assurances made to prevent tampering? How is POTUS always 5 steps ahead? Who is helping POTUS? Very, very interesting. We continue. Post 15, October 31st, 2017, still 2300 hours, 47 seconds. Says there are more good people than bad. The wizards and warlocks, inside term, will not allow another satanic evil POS control our country. Realize Soros, Clintons, Obama, Putin, etc. are all controlled by 3 families. The 4th was removed post-Trump's victory. 11-3, Podesta indicted. 11-6, Huma indicted. Manafort was placed into Trump's camp, as well as others. The corruption that will come out is so serious that deals must be cut for people to walk away. Otherwise, 70% of elected politicians would be in jail. You are seeing it already begin. A deep cleaning is occurring, and the prevention and defense of pure evil is occurring on a daily basis. They never thought they were going to lose control of the presidency, not just D's, and they thought they had control since making past mistakes. JFK and Reagan. Godspeed, or Goodspeed, Patriots. P.S. Soros is targeted. Post 16, October 31st, 2017, 2,300 hours, 31 minutes, even. It says, get the popcorn. Friday and Saturday will deliver on the mega promise. POTUS knows he must clean house, government, in order to free up and demonstrate who has authority in order to pass important legislation. This was always a priority. Remember, AG Sessions cannot look like an impartial player that is out to get all former Obama team members, as we need him for other important work. All will come into focus, and for anyone to think POTUS is not in control is kidding themselves. Also, he's 100% insulated with zero risk of impeachment. Fact. And so what did we just witness? Well, obviously, if you look at it from that perspective, yes, it would appear that POTUS was impeached. However, again, if you know how Congress works and know that the House of Representatives brings the charges, right? And the Senate has to be the one to actually convict. Technically, no, he has not been impeached. Bear with me here 1 second, folks. Seems to have timed out on me here. All right. I'll have to watch a different way here, but let's see. All right. Give me 1 second. Get this brought back up. One moment. Seems I've lost my chat window. Alright, there we go. Hopefully this stays up. Don't worry about that. There we go. Alright. Seems I'm back in business here, hopefully. Go back. Here we go. Alright, so continuing on. We get to post 16, as I said, get the popcorn. This came through October 31st, 2017, 23:31 even. Get the popcorn. Friday and Saturday will deliver on the MAGA promise. POTUS knows he must clean house, government, in order to free up and demonstrate who has authority in order to pass important legislation. This was always a priority. Remember, AG Sessions cannot look like an impartial player that is out to get all former Obama team members, as we need him for other important work. All will come into focus, and for anyone to think POTUS is not in control is kidding themselves. Also, he's 100% insulated with zero risk of impeachment. Fact. So, repeating that one just for the sake of argument here and what we have since played out here for the media to say, yo, he's been impeached twice now. No, technically he's not. Pelosi and company a year ago did march it over to the Senate, but he was not convicted. And we'll likely see it happen yet again. So that being said, let's carry on here with post number 17. Came through October 31st, 2017, 23:58 even. Says, why does Obama travel in advance of POTUS to foreign locations? Why is this relevant? Focus on the power of POTUS as it relates to the Marines. How can MI be applied to prosecute bad actors and avoid corrupt agencies and judges? Biggest drop on Paul, meaning 4chan at the time. This was dropped on the Paul board at the time, for those that been around that long. Above is reason why the shills are sliding. In case you didn't know, shills log and send new info back to ASF for instruction. They use a 5-prong pre-packaged injection. One post auto-generates 4 more at random, designated times. Common drive of posts they all tap into. Since they misjudge the influence of the MSM, they are aggressively looking to censor throughout major platforms in exchange for CIA slush funds and WW worldwide access for expansion of said networks. Everything they do has been forecasted and prepared for. So think of that, folks. Again, this endeavor, now 3+ years old, that very last statement. Everything they do has been forecasted and prepared for. So do you think the events we're seeing today weren't planned for? Post 18 came through November 1st, 2017 at 9 minutes past midnight, 55 seconds. Says, why did Mueller meet POTUS one day prior to FBI announcement? If Mueller could not be offered director due to previous term limits rule, why is Pelosi begging for a new special counsel? What is Pelosi's net worth? How was this obtained given salary as career official? Why is Pelosi's memory going? Could it protect against prosecution? How so? What if John M.'s surgery was fake, meaning McCain, or No Name as he later became known as? Why would this occur? What could this prevent potentially? What is the Mayo Clinic? Who sits on the BOD there, the board of directors? Yeah, and think back to that. Do you think he just had a quick in-and-out brain surgery and was on his happy-go-lucky way with just a couple stitches above the eye? If you remember back then? Post 19. Says, why do D's want to control the black pop? This came through November 1st, 2017 at 29 minutes past the hour, 28 seconds. Why do they intentionally keep poor and in need? Why do D's project racism on a daily basis against R's? Why do black elected officials do the crazy talk on behalf of D's? How do D's cover the historical facts of forming the Confederacy, KKK, and oppose all things pro-black regarding legislation? What happens if D's lose the slave grip on the black pop? Why do D's, through the funding of the CIA, prop up and install Hollywood/media assets? Does this fall within Operation Mockingbird? What were the historical advantages D's gained by having MSM and famous people peddling narrative? Who exposed the pedo network within H-Wood? You can't answer the above, but will laugh once disclosed details. The network, which controls this false narrative, which in turn keeps the black pop under control, is being dismantled. False local and national black leaders will be exposed next as shills for the D Party. Follow the money. Maxine Waters, has a $4 million home and cash assets in excess of $6 million. How is that possible? One example. All of these questions help to paint the full picture. And of course, as we well know, you go into Congress pretty well broke and you come out a millionaire and some book deals, right? Isn't that the golden ticket? Becoming a politician? Post 20. 11/1/2017, 42 minutes past midnight even. Says, who did POTUS meet with yesterday? Was AG Sessions there? How many MI generals were on the White House list to attend a separate meeting? Could those meetings have been combined? Why were certain rooms in the White House renovated? Where was the meeting on Monday? Why aren't phones allowed in this room? One of many. What firm was contracted to conduct the renovations? And of course, if you remember back then, it was known that Satan left the White House, meaning the previous administration, and the fact that a lot of stuff was bugged. Post 21. I'm going to scroll off to the side here and make sure I haven't missed anything. Yep, got that one. All right. Cruising right along. Post 21. All right, that came through on November 1st, 2017, 48 minutes past the hour, 20 seconds. Says, I've dumped some crumbs like this over the weekend, which started the intense shilling. At this point, we are far enough along. You can paint the picture without risk of jeopardizing the operation. So apparently this is an operation, right? Of course. Post 22, 11/1/2017, 57 minutes past midnight, 15 seconds. Says who controls the NG? The National Guard. Why was the NG recently activated in select cities within the U.S.? Can the NG work in coordination with the Marines? Do conditions need to be satisfied to authorize? What former president used the military to save the Republic? And what occurred exactly? Biggest drop to ever be provided on Paul. Study and prepare. The masses tend to panic in such situations. No war, no civil unrest, clean and swift. Very interesting. And in the context of today, what do we see playing out in D.C.? A little bit of a buildup of anywhere from 15 to 20,000 National Guardsmen. And by the way, some Marines, you say. They can work in concert? Very, very interesting. Head on a swivel. Post 23. November 1st, 2017. 11152. Says note. MI has the same SAPs as NSA, CIA, etc. as designated post 9/11. Why is this relevant? Who can be held hostage and controlled? CIA thinks its foreign offshore assets are strong enough to defend against the U.S. executive, not accounting for military use on domestic soil. Why does the Constitution explicitly grant this authority to the President? And what is it to prevent? They knew our agencies would grow in power, so much so they could and can hold the executive hostage or engage with bad actors. Trump nominated someone new to direct every agency but one. He controls the top. Post 24, 11/1/2017, 12703. Any person making statements they will not be seeking re-election was put in submission. For the betterment of the country, not all will be prosecuted and will do as told. You'll see more of this occur. Not normal yet disregarded. And even on the D side. Post 25, 11/1/2017, 13411. Follow up to last post. Return to comments regarding Pelosi and John M. Some of us refuse to say his last name for a reason. This all has meaning. Everything stated. Big picture stuff. Few positions allow for this direct knowledge. Proof to begin, 11.3. We all sincerely appreciate the work you do. Keep up the good fight. The flow of information is vital. God bless. And boy howdy is it. Especially now. Post 26, 11/1/2017, came through at 141.54. Think about it logically. The only way is the military. Fully controlled, save and spread. Once 11.3 verifies as first marker. Biggest advanced drop on Paul. And that part right there is absolutely key. The only way is the military, fully controlled. And think of what we've seen play out since the election. Who can we trust? Post 27, 11/1/2017, 156.06. Says not everything can be publicly disclosed because so much ties back to foreign heads of state. Much will be revealed. We want transparency, but not at a cost we can't recover from. Post 28, 11/1/2017, 159.01. Says what must be completed to engage MI over other three-letter agencies? During the 1950s and 60s, federal troops and federalized National Guard forces, accompanied by military intelligence personnel, were deployed to help integrate Southern schools and to help deal with civil disorders in Detroit in 1967 and other cities the following year, after the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Throughout this period, military intelligence units also continued to collect data on Americans at home who are suspected of involvement in subversive activities. Uh-oh, I jumped way ahead here. Bear with me here. Get back to where I was. There we go. Apparently I hit a wrong button there. In the late 1960s, the Pentagon compiled personal information on more than 100,000 politically active Americans in an effort to quell civil rights and anti-Vietnam War demonstrations and to discredit protesters. The Army used 1,500 plainclothes agents to watch demonstrations, infiltrate organizations, and spread disinformation. According to one report, the Army had at least one observer at every demonstration of more than 20 people. The Army's activities were summed up by Senator Sam Ervin. Allegedly, for the purpose of predicting and preventing civil disturbances, which might develop beyond the control of state and local officials, Army agents were sent throughout the country to help keep surveillance over the way the civilian population expressed their sentiments about government policies. In churches, on campuses, in classrooms, in public meetings, they took notes, tape recorded, and photographed people who dissented in thought, word, or deed. This included clergymen, editors, public officials, and everyone who sympathized with the dissenters. And that is a link to the Digital Commons law there. And think of how that plays out here today. And it goes on to state, always, Trump has had MI infiltrate Antifa and all the dissenting local governments. Ha 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 ha. Always 5 steps ahead. Please be true. And of course, the Anon at the time says, well done. Picture being painted. Continuing on, post 29, 11/1/2017, 2 hours, 2:13, 10 seconds past the hour. So some things must remain classified to the very end. NK, North Korea, is not being run by Kim. He's an actor in the play. Who is the director? The truth would sound so outrageous, most Americans would riot, revolt, reject, etc. The pedo networks are being dismantled. The child abductions for satanic rituals, in effect Haiti and other third world countries, are paused, not terminated until players in custody. We pray every single day for God's guidance and direction as we are truly up against pure evil. Post 30, 11/1/2017, 2:25:22. Says, would you believe a device was placed somewhere in the White House that could actually cause harm to anyone in the room and would in essence be undetected? Fantasy, right? When Trump was elected, you can't possibly imagine the steps taken prior to losing power to ensure future safety and control. When was it reported Trump Jr. dropped his SS detail? Why would he take the huge risk given what we know? I can hint and point, but cannot give too many highly classified data points. These keywords and questions are framed to reduce sniffer programs that continually absorb and analyze data, then push to Z-terminals for eval. Think X key score on steroids. And of course we learned about that, didn't we? X key score. Post 31, November 1st, 2017 at 2:38:23. World stalemate. We all have the goods on everyone else. That's part of the reason why some things that tie back to foreign heads of state will remain classified. Not all. We are in one of the most critical times of our country. Trump and others are working to balance the we're doing well for America for the common person to endorse, while at the same time purify our government and remove the bad actors who are entrenched. There is so much string pulling and blackmail that we need to cut these off to truly gain the power granted to us by the patriots and hardworking people of this great country. Post 32, 11/1/2017 at 2:44:10. Says maybe one day, but it cannot go slow. The initial wave will be fast and meaningful. It will send a signal to others immediately, and you'll see the tide turn. Not even the MSM can hide, and rest assured, some will be jailed as deep cover agents. Post 33, 11/1/2017, 251:49. Says, I'm hopeful my time spent here was not wasted. Note, few if any shills inside this thread. Reason for that. It's being monitored, recorded, and analyzed, and don't want declutter. Take good care. God bless. And many of us at the time did exactly that, archived offline. For good reason. Post 34, 11/1/2017, 22:56:16. Q Clearance Patriot. My fellow Americans, over the course of the next several days, you will undoubtedly realize that we are taking back our great country, the land of the free, from the evil tyrants that wish to do us harm and destroy the last remaining refuge of shining light. On POTUS's order, we have initiated certain fail-safes that shall safeguard the public from the primary fallout which is slated to occur. 11.3. Upon the arrest, announcement of Mr. Podesta. Actionable 11.4. Confirmation to the public of what is occurring will then be revealed and will not be openly accepted. Public riots are being organized in serious numbers in an effort to prevent the arrest and capture of more senior public officials. On POTUS's order, a state of temporary military control will be action and special ops carried out. False leaks have been made to retain several within the confines of the United States to prevent extradition and special operator necessity. Rest assured, the safety and well-being of every man, woman, and child of this country is being exhausted in full. However, the atmosphere within the country will unfortunately be divided, as so many have fallen for the corrupt and evil narrative that has long been broadcast. We will be initiating the Emergency Broadcast System, EMS, during this time in an effort to provide a direct message, avoiding the fake news, to all citizens. Organizations and or people that wish to do us harm during this time will be met with swift fury. Certain laws have been pre-lifted to provide our great military the necessary authority to handle and conduct these operations, at home and abroad. 35. Came through 11/1/2017, 22:56:38. POTUS will be well insulated, protected on AF-1, Air Force One, and abroad. Specific locations classified. While these operations are conducted, due to the nature of the entrenchment, it is time to take back our country and make America great again. Let us salute and pray for the brave men and women in uniform who will undertake this assignment to bring forth peace, unity, and return power to the people. It is our hope that this message reaches enough people to make a meaningful impact. We cannot yet telegraph this message through normal methods, for reasons I'm sure everyone here can understand. Follow the questions from the previous threads and remain calm. The primary targets are within D.C. and remain at the top on both sides. The spillover in the streets will be quickly shut down. Look for more false flags. Stay alert, be vigilant, and above all, please pray. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. Love is patient, love is kind. God bless, my fellow Americans. 4/10/20. And of course, presumably, at the time we assume that to mean DJT. Simple gematria. So off we go to post 36 on November 2nd, 2017, 54 minutes past the hour, 52 seconds. Military intelligence. No media, no leaks. How many MI generals have been in, out of the White House in the past 30 days? Focus on Flynn. Background and potential role. What is the common denominator in terms of military backgrounds close to POTUS? Why did Soros transfer the bulk of his public funds to a NPO? Why is this relevant? who owes a lot to very bad actors. How can she repay as payment was made under promise of victory? What cash payments occurred by B.O. during the last 90 of his presidency to foreign states and or organizations? What slush fund did A.G. Sessions, through DOJ, put an end to? How did Soros, Obama, Clinton, Holder, Lynch, etc. all net many millions of dollars, normally within a single tax year? What was negotiated on the tarmac between B.C. and Lynch? Remember, it was expected HRC was going to win during this time period. What if the wizards and warlocks tipped off a local reporter as to the supposed unscheduled stop? What if the NSA, under the personal direction from Admiral R., had this meeting miscat and logged under a false identity to prevent bad actors from locating while also verifying to said players all was clear? No logs. What really happened when the wizards and warlocks revealed what they had? Was Comey forced into the spotlight shortly thereafter? Not by choice? Right before the election, no doubt, which would cast suspicion? These are crumbs, and you cannot imagine the full and complete picture. If Trump failed, if we failed, and HRC assumed control, we as patriots were prepared to do the unthinkable. This was leaked internally and kept the delegate recount scam and BO from declaring fraud. Dig deeper. Missing critical points to paint the full picture. There is simply no other way than to use the military. It's that corrupt and dirty. Please be safe and pray for those in harm's way as they continually protect and serve our great country. Post 37, 11/2/2017, 57 minutes past the hour, 23 seconds. Says they are the true patriots. We will never forget. Let these coming days be remembered in our history as a time we fought to recapture the Republic from those evil bad actors who for so long have sacrificed the good people of this land for their own personal gain. Fight the good fight. Let justice be served. Post 38, 11/2/2017, 1:48:52. For carriers and escorts in the Pacific, why is that relevant? To prevent other state actors from attempting to harm us during this transition, Russia/China, or conversely, all for NK, or all three. Think logically about the timing of everything happening. Note increased military movement. Note NG deployment starting tomorrow. Note false flags. Follow Huma. Prepare messages of reassurance based on what was dropped here to spread on different platforms. The calm before the storm. Post 39, 11/2/2017, 2:14:27. Says, would it blow your mind if I told you BO has been to NK and perhaps there now? Why did his administration do little to slow their nuclear and missile capabilities? Who feeds NK with strategic intel? Iran? What deal was done with Iran under BO? Why was the deal sealed under a top secret classification? Why wasn't Congress involved, or notified, rather? Why, after BO left office, all of a sudden NK has nukes and the tech to miniaturize for payload delivery within the U.S.? What about NSA, CIA, DI, etc., all confirming tech won't be in place for 5+ years, based on statements made in 2016? Why is all of this relevant, and what does it tell you? Big picture is rare. Post 40, 11/2/2017, 2:18:35. So we get a little bit of a hint on decoding from the early days. 4:10:20, for those who didn't pick up on it the first time. A, B, C, D, E. Follow the logic. A1, B2, etc. 41, 11/2/2017, 2:47:47. What a coincidence. The mountain that housed NK's nuclear weapons and testing collapsed. Unbelievable timing. I wonder if critically important materials, as well as scientists, aka the bomb makers, were inside when it happened. Shocking, no global news agency suspects we had nothing to do with it. Enjoy the crumbs. Post 42, 11/2/2017, 2:54:29. We serve at the pleasure of the President, DJT. Post 43, 11/2/2017, 3:01:46. Says these crumbs are not meant to scare anyone, but merely inform. Resistance will be dealt with swiftly. The core focus is removing entrenched and fortified bad actors within our federal government, past and present, as well as others. Simply be diligent. Phone numbers will be provided if you witness an uprising or other domestic violence, in addition to 911. Any military scene is for your protection, as well as to demonstrate our resolve. Watch for confirmations tomorrow. Post 44, 11/2/2017 at 3:06:41. Before POTUS departs on Friday, he will be sending an important message via Twitter. God bless. Well, we definitely know that isn't going to happen, having now been given the boot off of most social media. So you can imagine what took place back then. Post 45, 11/2/2017 at 12:36:31. Follow Huma. What just broke with Huma? What did HRC instruct Huma to do regarding classified markings? Why is the story just now coming out? What relevance does it have? Why is Donna running for cover? Was a deal granted in exchange for something? Who made the deal? Do we care about Donna or those who instructed her to violate the law? Why is this being leaked versus simply prosecuted privately? Who's attempting to change the narrative and soften the acts that are forthcoming this weekend? Post 46, 11/2/2017, 12:57:19. Says, why is the information regarding BO important regarding Uranium-1 and export approval to Canada to EU? Where is BO today? Did BO and or his admin ever make false statements that U1 would never be exported from the US? Who made those statements? Who did they report to? Why is this relevant? The public has been given a select taste, in effect sampling. Rest assured others have it all, 100% verifiable and impossible to refute. Why is this relevant? Who controls the narrative? Why are left-wing organizations beginning to report on DNC, corruption? Does the CIA have operators inside the MSM? What happens if exposed? What happens if tied back as knowing to execs? What does this have to do with leaking? What if it can be verified, no source stories, made up, were in fact and approved to be published? The wormhole goes deep. 47, 11/2/2017, 13:08:46. You can paint the picture based solely on the questions asked. Be vigilant today and expect a major false flag. Does anyone find it to be a coincidence? There is always a terrorist attack when bad news breaks for the Ds. What is that called? Military relevant how? BO could not and would not allow the military to destroy ISIS. Why? How was ISIS formed? When? How has POTUS made such progress in the short time he's been president? Alice and Wonderland. 48, 11/2/2017, 13:44:30. What is Q clearance? What hint does that explicitly refer to? DOE? Who would have the goods on U1? Does stating Q refer that person works in DOE? No. Does it refer that someone dropping such information has the highest level of security within all departments? Why is this relevant? May 2010. BO. Russia should be viewed as a friendly partner under Section 123, the Atomic Energy Act of 1954, after agreeing to a new nuclear weapons reduction deal and helping U.S. with Iran. Who is the enemy? What is being continually stated by all Ds? Russia is what? What did the Russia reset really provide? Clearance/pathway to complete the U1 deal? Why is the Canadian PM so important? They never thought they were going to lose. The calm before the storm. 49, 11/2/2017, 13:54:59. Follow Senator Grassley. What is different effective this week? What do you notice? Why does Senator Grassley, one example, have a higher than normal amount of security detail? Why is Grassley and others held in a secure location? When did this start? What has been different this week? U1 FBI informant. Have secret sessions been underway? How could this be discovered? What must be reported even if filed under state secrets? It's a name recognized around the world. Alice and Wonderland. Post 50, 11/2/2017 at 14:06:58. Big drop. How did NK obtain uranium? How did Iran obtain uranium? Why did BO send billions in cash and wire to Iran? Why the cash component? Was the hostage component a cover? For what? Could any of the cash component be handed off to other people? How many planes carried the cash into Iran? Did all land in Iran? Did all land in the same location? Why is this relevant? Who controls NK? Who really controls NK? Don't think of a single person. Think of a powerful entity. Why is this important? Why are wars so important? Who benefits? What does hostage refer to? Who can be held hostage and controlled by NK having miniaturized nuclear weapons? Where is BO today? Where is VJ, Valerie Jarrett, Alice and Wonderland? Post 51, 11/2/2017, 14:12:06. We get this. One nation under God. Says, I've watched as society has been effectively addicted to MSM, apps, social media, games, music, all propaganda, and the moment you try to open anyone's eyes, you are shunned, being dumbed down, weakened, and groomed for passivity and stupidity through food and their addictions, like calf literally being fattened for a slaughter. And with all the race war propaganda and Pizzagate possibility, I became suicidal because I can't stand that no one will open their eyes and are being manipulated hard. I hope with all of my heart that Trump is going to make good on his promise to MAGA and clean the swamp. I've been thinking about joining the Navy for Corpsman Greenside, and I would love to serve under a Trump administration if he really does clean swamp. We'll try to join regardless. No openings for Corpsman right now, though. I hope that OP Anon, what OP Anon says is true. I'll be praying for OP Anon and all who risk their lives for safety and that the Lord will guide them, and praying that what he says is true, and will be praying for the spiritual edification of God for Trump and for his complete safety in all of this. The pieces are coming together for me, and if this is true, those working with him are absolute geniuses, because I would have never imagined there would be any way possible to take the monster of corruption that has overtaken this country. And the response is, Dear Patriot, We hear you. We hear all Americans such as yourself. The time has come to take back our great land. The time is now. Rest assured, POTUS is backed by the absolute finest people alive who are all dedicated to the eradication of evil and corruption from the U.S./world. Find peace. God is with us. God bless and be safe. The WH, the White House. Post 52. 11/2/2017, 14/27/23. Says, review BO's financial disclosure when he submitted pre-de-election campaign. What is the annual salary of a sitting president? What homes were just purchased by BO? How much did it cost? How does it reconcile? What is the net worth of Pelosi? How does it reconcile? What is the John M. Institute? Notice any patterns relating to the CF, Clinton Foundation? Where did John M. obtain his surgery? Why is that relevant? What surgery did he supposedly have? How many days until he was back in Congress and sitting on the OSCOM? What is John M.'s net worth? How does it reconcile? What is MW's net worth? How does it reconcile? You can play this game with most D's and many R's. What does swamp refer to? What does money buy? Alice and Wonderland. Post 53. 11/2/2017, 14/36/25. Says list out all who have foundations. Why is this relevant? How can donations be used personally? Analyze the filings. Who is charged with overseeing this? IRS? Corrupt? Politically motivated? The level of corruption in our country, and most others, is so severe there is only one way. Alice and Wonderland. Post 54, 11/2/2017, 14/39/41. Says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Post 55. 11/2/2017, 14/44/21. Says, look to Twitter. Exactly this. My fellow Americans, the storm is upon us. God bless. And of course we had seen that at the time from a presser, and obviously at the time the press was asking questions, what does this mean? And here we are. Post 56, 11/2/2017, 16/39/22. We get a link to the Hill article. Blog, Huma Abedin's ties to the Muslim Brotherhood, if you recall that. Says the Clinton campaign is attempting once again to sweep important questions under the rug about top aide Huma Abedin, her family ties to the Muslim Brotherhood and to Saudi Arabia, and her role in the ballooning Clinton email scandal. Her mother, Saleha Abedin, sits on the presidency staff council of the International Islamic Council for Da'wah and Relief, a group that is chaired by the leader of the Muslim Brotherhood, Sheikh Yusuf al-Qaradawi. Perhaps recognizing how offensive such ties will be to voters concerned over future terrorist attacks on this country by radical Muslims professing allegiance to Sharia law. The Clinton campaign on Monday tried to downplay Ms. Abedin's involvement in the Journal and the Muslim Brotherhood. The Clinton surrogate group, Media Matters, claimed predictably there was no evidence that Ms. Abedin or her family had ties to the Muslim Brotherhood, and the Trump campaign staffers who spoke of these ties were conspiracy theorists. To debunk the evidence, Media Matters pointed to a Snopes.com fact-check piece that cited as its sole source Senator John McCain. This is the same John McCain who met Libyan militia leader Abdelkarim Belhaj, a known al-Qaeda associate, and saluted him as my hero during a 2011 visit to Benghazi. So 57. 11/2/2017, 1639-38. So Senator McCain and others roundly criticized Rep. Michelle Bachmann in 2012 when she and four members of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence and the House Judiciary Committee cited Ms. Abedin in letters sent to the Inspectors General of the Department of Defense, Department of State, Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, warning about Muslim Brotherhood infiltration of the United States government. Why is this relevant? Who took an undisclosed trip to SA, Saudi Arabia? What was the purpose of a F2FV versus phone call? Face-to-face versus phone call. Ellis and Wonderland. Post 58. 11/2/2017, 1640-27. Responding to an anon at the time. Again, looking at the Hill here. I'm not going to go ahead and reread that as I just did, but the response was Senator McCain and others roundly criticized Rep. Michelle Bachmann in 2012 when she and four members of the House Permanent Select Committee Intelligence and the House Judiciary Committee cited Ms. Abedin in letters sent to the Inspector Generals of the Department of Defense, Department of State, Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, warning about Muslim Brotherhood infiltration in the United States government. Why is this relevant? Who took an undisclosed trip to SA? What was the purpose of F2F versus phone call? Alice in Wonderland. So basically a repeat post there. Continuing on, post 59, 11/2/2017 at 17:04:05. Says, how did SA welcome POTUS during his trip? Why was this historic and not covered by MSM? How did SA welcome BO during his trip? How did SA welcome HRC during her trip? Why is this relevant? Not suggesting SA is clean by any means, but they play a role in this global game of risk. Combine all posts and analyze. The questions provide answers. Remember, information is everything. The flow of information is no longer controlled by the MSM, but by you/others. Hence why we are dedicating critical time to distribute crumbs which can be followed in greater detail to paint the entire picture once more information is released. Why has POTUS dedicated so much time into labeling the MSM as fake news? Why is this relevant? We are fully prepared that all social media will be shut down to prevent the spread of this information, in effect POTUS's Twitter, etc., and or mass censoring. Ta-da! Here we are. Sealed federal orders pre-submitted as prevention and masked as in general, though that does not account for rogue agents/programmers within. Dates and pending actions are deliberately provided for authenticity. Alice and Wonderland. Post 60. 11/2/2017 at 19:03:36. Says you can count the people who have the full picture on two hands. Of those, less than 10 people, only 3 are non-military. Why is this relevant? Game theory. Outside of a potential operator who has been dialed in with orders specific to his or her mission, nobody else has this information. Operators never divulge. Alice and Wonderland. Post 61. Anonymous 11/2/2017 at 19:07:54. Says, please refer back and collect my crumbs. As discussed, we've anticipated the Twitter and other social media blackouts. Rogue agents/programmers. Per sealed federal orders, we quickly tracked and reinstated. Expect outages periodically. Infiltrated. If this doesn't signal what I've been saying, I don't know what will. And of course, at that time, yes, POTUS had a fat finger attempt by Twitter and was quickly reinstated, yes. Now, not so much. 62, 11/2/2017 at 19:12:48. Says, highly recommend someone take all my crumbs and put them into a massive dump, a single shot. This will be considered the biggest inside-approved dump in American history. They are beginning to understand, as Podesta's attorney was just notified. All my dumps are being recorded, but again, it doesn't matter. Alice and Wonderland. Where is B.O. today? Where is BO even today? 63. 11/2/2017, 19:21:32. To those watching, you know who you are. You have a choice to make. You can stand up and do what you know to be right, or you can suffer the consequences of your previous actions. Make no mistake, you are on the losing side. The choice is yours. If you decide to take down Paul and the net, we will be ready. And we get a bit of a stringer there. Ellis and Wonderland sign off yet again. Post 64, 11/2/2017, 19:31:24. Says, fellow patriots, I'm being advised actions have created accelerated counter-actions. We have not yet ascertained the scope of the attack. Watch the news outlets. POTUS Twitter takedown was not by accident, as referenced several hours ago. Should the lights go out, please know that we are in control. Do not panic. We are prepared and assets are in place. God bless. I must go for good at this point. And of course that was fairly short-lived, as the next post came back. 11/2/2017, 20:07:18. Flash traffic. 3-letter agency embedded tracking up channel into POTUS Twitter to specifically target through specialized geo and send his location. We anticipated this. See post a few hours ago. It has begun. Perhaps more posts to follow as expected imminent departure. Post 66. 11/2/2017, 2019:28. Responding to an anon that says, let's be clear, you're telling us POTUS is currently under attack by our own intelligence agencies? And the response, let's be real clear. The CIA just attacked the commander-in-chief, which was immediately detected by NSA/MI and alerted to POTUS. Re-review all my crumbs, including today/yesterday/weekend. What does this mean? What actions are immediately occurring? If this leaks, or the immediate action ongoing at Langley, you'll have your verification ahead of schedule. And I think if you recall back then, perhaps Langley at the time got a visit from a couple of Ospreys, if I'm recollecting correctly. Post 67, 11/3/2017 at 17:33:30. Says, where is John Podesta? Where is Tony Podesta? Did one or both escape the country and was let out? Where is B.O.? Where was B.O. yesterday? What is the difference between commercial and private regarding security clearance for departure? Who is the TSA head? Which party did he contribute to? What is of particular interest when researching? How does HS interact with TSA? What updated post-9/11 protocols were put in place to prevent/stop inbound/outbound sea level targets? What local airports are in close proximity to DC? What happened shortly after 9/11, specifically with all aircraft? Who is authorized to depart? Only one plane was authorized during this mandatory forced grounding. Who specifically authorized this? What airport did the departure take place at? Why is this relevant? How does it tie together? Podesta's plane has military escort, in effect, TAG, and is being diverted, forced down. Short delay. This will be leaked. Watch the news. Have faith. What fake news anchor will not be on air tonight? Why is this relevant? What was stated in the past? Where did the $18 billion from Soros go? Why? Can it be used by bad actors, escape, bribes, rogue contractors, etc.? Slush fund? Did the U.S. government seize/stop/track other slush funds that prevent or create risk to operate? Why did JK travel to SA recently? What is SA known for? Where do the biggest donations originate from? Why is this relevant? What else is relevant with SA? Safe harbor? Proof? Port of transfer? Why was there a recent smear campaign against JK and POTUS? Why is the timing important? Who released the article? The Council of Wizards and Warlocks cannot be defeated. Nice view up here. Continuing on, post 68, 11/3/2017, 17:38:03. Says what data just dropped? Why is this relevant? Huma, Huma, Huma. Where is Huma? Who is Huma connected to? What organization? What is Huma's family history? How did Huma meet HRC? What did HRC say about Huma that demonstrates how close they are? Why are Ds dropping HRC all of a sudden? Were deals made with select Ds? Can we expose every crooked politician? 70%? Huma. Follow Huma. Alice and Wonderland. Post 69, 11/3/2017, 17:56:13. Says Godspeed to those who will be put in harm's way. You are the bravest men and women on earth. We will never forget. All share one title in common, and that is the title of hero. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Post 70, 11/4/2017 at 19:02:02. Repost. Why did JK travel to SA recently? What is SA known for? Where do the biggest donations originate from? Why is this relevant? What else is relevant with SA? Safe harbor? Port of transfer? Why was there a recent smear campaign against JK and POTUS? Why is the timing important? Martial law declared in SA. Why is this relevant? How much money was donated to CF by SA? How much money was donated to John M. Institute by SA? How much money was donated to Pelosi Foundation? How much money was donated to CS by SA? What other bad actors have been paid by SA, bribed, not just Ds? Why did the Bush family recently come out against POTUS? Who is good? What are the laws in SA versus US? Charged criminals. What information might be gained by these detainees? Why is this important? SA, the US. What force is actively deployed in SA? NG? Have faith. These, the crumbs, in time will equate to the biggest drops ever disclosed in our history. Remember, disinformation is real. God bless. Alice in Wonderland, The Great Awakening. Post 71. Says follow Huma. 11/4/2017 at 19:33:30. Says who connects HRC/CF to SA? Why is this relevant? Who is the Muslim Brotherhood? Who has ties to the MB? Who is Awan? What is the Awan group? Where do they have offices? Why is this relevant? Define cash laundering. What is the relationship between SA and Pakistan? Why is this relevant? Why would SA provide tens of millions of dollars to U.S. senior government officials? What does SA obtain in exchange for payment? Why is access important? What happened when HRC lost the election of 2016? How much money was provided to the CF by SA during the 15-16? HRC lost. Loss of access, power, control. Does repayment of funds to SA occur? If so, how? Why did BO send billions in cash to Iran? Why wasn't Congress notified? Why was this classified under state secrets? Who has access to state secrets? Where did the planes carrying the cash depart from and land? Did the planes all land in the same location? How many planes carried the cash? Why is this relevant? What does this have to do with NK? What does this have to do with SA, CF, cash donations? What does this have to do with ISIS? What does this have to do with slush funds? Why is SA so vitally important? Follow the money. Who has the money? What is happening in SA today? Why is this relevant? Who is Abdullah bin Abdulaziz? What events transpired directly thereafter? How is POTUS greeted compared to other former U.S. presidents when in SA? Why is this relevant? What is the meaning of this tradition? What coincidentally was the last tweet sent out by POTUS? Why is this relevant? Was that an intrusion of some kind? To who? Why is this relevant? Where was POTUS when that tweet was sent? Why is that relevant? What attack took place in SA as operations were undertaken? Flying objects. What U.S. operators are currently in SA? Why is this relevant? Questions provide answers. Alice and Wonderland. And of course, there was a lot going on in SA at the time, shortly after the stuff going on in Vegas at the beginning of October 2017. And there were a couple, 2, 3 or so princes that were hanging upside down in a Ritz-Carlton over there, if you recall. I think POTUS referred to one of them as Dopey. Post 72, Anonymous 11/4/2017 at 19:44:06, responding to an Anon, says, wait. Go back to the post about the families that run everything and Trump taking one out. Was one of them this Saudi family? Seriously? Because that makes this a happening. I remember the phrasing not making sense. I was like, oh, does he mean that DT took out the Clintons? But the Clintons were on the list as remaining, so I didn't know who was taken out. And the response was, as very smart, Anon, disinformation is real. Distractions are necessary. SA is the primary, US is secondary. Asia/EU. Alice and Wonderland. Post 73, 11/4/2017 at 20:22:08. This came through 11/4/2017, 20:22:08. Yep, says, what was POTUS' last tweet prior to? To who was it addressed? When was POTUS Twitter taken down? Why is this relevant? What was POTUS' last tweet prior to? Who was it addressed to specifically? When was POTUS Twitter taken down? Has this ever happened before? Why now? Coincidence? How many times did the attack occur? Secondary cleanup. What is the purpose of tracking? What is the purpose of disruption? Why did POTUS have military guards uniform while in HI, Hawaii? Why is this relevant? Do military guards uniform typically assist the U.S. SS, United States Secret Service? Why is this relevant? What flying object was recently shot down? Why is this relevant? How precise is geo-tracking? Non-public sea level pro. And why is this relevant? Alice and Wonderland. And I think somehow Either QEgg is correct and probably my posts at the time are slightly off. Trying to catch up behind the scenes here a little bit. Make sure I'm not getting too terribly out of order. 273, 74. Yeah, 74, Q equals Alice. So things got a little out of order at the time. I had to put things back in order. So continuing on, says 74, 11/4/2017, 20:28:58. Q equals Alice. You'll soon understand the meaning behind Alice and Wonderland. Everything has meaning. God bless. Post 75, Anonymous, 11/5/2017 at 14 minutes past the hour, 37 seconds. There we go. The strongest weapon in the United States is a patriotic American. And it states, says, by the time POTUS returns from his trip, the world will be a different place. Godfather 3, Alice and Wonderland. Alice, Lewis Carroll equals the bloody Wonderland equals, and then the repost. Why did JK travel to SA recently? What is SA known for? Where do the biggest donations originate from? Why is this relevant? What else is relevant with SA? Safe harbor? Port of transfer? Why was there a recent smear campaign against JK and POTUS? Why is the timing important? Post 76, 11/5/2017, 15 minutes past the hour, 2 seconds. Repost lost. Says martial law declared in SA. Why is this relevant? How much money was donated to CF by SA? How much money was donated to John M. Institute by SA? How much money was donated to Pelosi Foundation? How much money was donated to CS by SA? What other bad actors have been paid by SA? Bribe, not just D's. Why did the Bush family recently come out against POTUS? Who is good? What are the laws in SA versus US? Charged criminals. What information might be gained by these detainees? Why is this important? SA to US? What force is actively deployed in SA? NG? Have faith. These, the crumbs, in time will equate to the biggest drops ever disclosed in our history. Remember, disinformation is real. God bless. Alice in Wonderland, The Great Awakening. And so apparently at the time we might have lost a couple posts along the way. It was just the nature of the boards back then. 77. Repost lost. Follow Huma. Who connects HRC CF to SA? Why is this relevant? Who is the Muslim Brotherhood? Who has ties to the MB? Who is Awan? Who is the Awan group? Where do they have offices? Why is this relevant? Define cash laundering. What is the relationship between SA and Pakistan? Why is this relevant? Why would SA provide tens of millions of dollars to U.S. senior government officials? What does SA obtain in exchange for payment? Why is access important? What happened when HRC lost the election of 2016? How much money was provided to the Clinton Foundation by SA during 15-16? HRC lost. Loss of access, power, control. Does repayment of funds to SA occur? If so, how? Why did BO send billions in cash to Iran? Why wasn't Congress notified? Why was this classified under state secrets? Who has access to state secrets? Where did the planes carrying the cash depart from and land? Did the planes all land in the same location? How many planes carried the cash? Why is this relevant? What does this have to do with NK, North Korea? What does this have to do with SA, CF, cash donations? What does this have to do with ISIS? What does this have to do with slush funds? Why is SA so vitally important? Follow the money. Who has the money? What is happening in SA today? Why is this relevant? Who was Abdullah bin Abdulaziz? What events transpired directly thereafter? How was POTUS greeted compared to other former U.S. presidents when in SA? Why is this relevant? What is the meaning of this tradition? What coincidentally was the last tweet sent out by POTUS? Why is this relevant? Was that an instruction of some kind? To who? Why is this relevant? Where was POTUS when the tweet was sent? Why is that relevant? What attack took place in SA as operations were undertaken? Flying objects? What U.S. operators are currently in SA? Why is this relevant? Questions provide answers. Alice and Wonderland. And again, another repost, 11/5/2017, 15 minutes, 52 seconds past. Says repost lost, disinformation is real, distractions are necessary, SA is a primary, US is secondary, Asia/EU, Alice in Wonderland. And another repost lost says what was POTUS' last tweet prior to who was it addressed? When was POTUS Twitter taken down? Why is this relevant? What was POTUS' last tweet prior to? Who is it addressed to specifically? When was POTUS Twitter taken down? Has this ever happened before? Why now? Coincidence? How many times did the attack occur? Secondary cleanup. What is the purpose of tracking? What is the purpose of disruption? Why did POTUS have military guards uniform while in Hawaii? Why is this relevant? Do military guards uniform typically assist the USSS? Why is this relevant? What flying object was recently shot down? Why is this relevant? How precise is geo-tracking on public sea level pro? Why is this relevant? Alice and Wonderland. And another repost lost, Q equals Alice. You'll soon understand the meaning behind Alice and Wonderland. Everything has meaning. God bless. And we get to post 79, 16 minutes, 50 seconds past the hour on the 5th of November 2017. We get to one of the first verifications of the map being laid out. The Anons all piecing the crumbs together. And we get the verification. Says graphic is right. Add above points to graphic. Stay organized. So then we get to post 80. Finally get caught up here to where I'm at in my own booklet. 11/5/2017, 44 minutes past the hour, 18 seconds. Says we need to get organized. Things need to be solved to understand what is about to happen. Let's start with Alice in Wonderland. Hillary Clinton in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Saudi Arabia, The Bloody Wonderland. Snow White. Wizards and Warlocks. Of course, referencing some books there. Hopefully you've dug into them. If not, you can always check into that. 11/5/2017, 47 minutes past the hour, 38 seconds. Says when big news drops, please reread entire graphic. This is so critical, and why information is provided in a certain order, and why some topics are continually emphasized more than others, as those will be the recent happenings. This is the purpose of this new thread. Reorganize. Snow White, Wizards, and Warlocks. Post 82, 11/5/2017, 49 minutes past the hour, 24 seconds. Says repost. Things need to be solved to understand what is about to happen. Let's start with Alice in Wonderland, Hillary Clinton in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, Saudi Arabia, The Bloody Wonderland. And over to post 83, 11/5/2017, 51 minutes past the hour, 20 seconds. Says simplified. Alice in Wonderland, Hillary and Saudi Arabia. References. Hillary Clinton in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, and Saudi Arabia, The Bloody Wonderland. Post 84, 11/5/2017 at 1:03:28. Says, please add crumbs above a new complete graphic. Organized and in order. Critical for understanding and review. Spiderweb. Hillary and Saudi Arabia. Alice and Wonderland. See above. This is staged and deliberate. Snow White. Godfather 3. So obviously he's still piecing things together. getting the graphic right, the map being formed. We get to this, post 85, from November 5th, 2017 at 106:58. Says, who funds MS-13? Why did BO instruct HS and BP to release MS-13 captures at the border? What agency has direct ties to two major drug cartels? Why is AG Sessions / POTUS prioritizing the removal of MS-13? Why is AG Sessions, POTUS / prioritizing building the wall? Immigration, drugs. Who do you hire for a hit? Who can be eliminated after the job is complete? Seth Rich. Who was found dead, too, shortly after his murder? What affiliation did they have? Classified. And the next post we get, post 86, 11/5/2017 at 1:10:37. We get a response to an Anon here, providing this link, Amazon and Hillary Clinton Wonderland quotes campaign ebook. The response was, finally, correct reference. Saudi Arabia, the bloody Wonderland, equals Alice and Wonderland signatures. Study. Important. Continuing on, post 87, 11/5/2017 at 1:12:48. Says, my signatures all reference upcoming events about to drop, if this hasn't been caught on. Snow White, Godfather 3, post 88, 11/5/2017, says 1:31 even. We get to 10 days, darkness, scare tactics, MSM, D's falling, R's walking away / removed, SA to US, to Asia, to EU. Disinformation is real. Distractions are necessary. Focus was US today, while real happening in SA under same context. Military control, martial law, missile strike, rogue, etc. Necessary. POTUS Twitter attack, see above. Important. Why is this relevant? What was the last tweet by POTUS prior to SA? Why is this relevant? SA 1, US 2, Asia 3, EU 4. Where is POTUS? Why is this relevant? Military operations, operators in US, Snow White, The Great Awakening, Godfather 3. And we get down to post 89. And it too is a graphic as they were continuing to build the map. So it was a post 79 plus everything in between, building said map. And we just get the response from Q at the time, says, thank you, Anon. FBI / MI currently have open investigation into the Clinton Foundation. Why didn't Comey drop this? Who is the FBI director during the Haiti crisis? How many kids disappeared? How much money was sent to Clinton Foundation under disguise of Haiti relief and actually went to Haiti? What countries donated big money to Clinton Foundation? SA? Why is this relevant? Snow White. And over to post 90, 11/5/2017 at 1:39:41. Responding to an Anon here. Let's see if I can get caught up on the side over here. It says, okay, we just need Q to come back and confirm now. And of course we get the confirm, classified, HRC, and the sign off. Post 91, 11/5/2017, 1:50:56. Says, why is MS-13 a priority? So I'll back up here on the side. There we go. So again, things slightly out of order. Again, this booking that you're seeing off the side was as recorded at the time. So things could have gotten slightly out of order since. 15056 11/5/2017 is why is MS-13 a priority? Could people pay such gangs to kill opponents, and why/how to insulate against exposure? The truth is mind-blowing and cannot be fully exposed. These people are evil. Why wasn't HRC prosecuted for the emails? Put simply, Obama ultimately okayed by using the non-government email Addy to communicate with Clinton. Obama also had an alias, along with each of his cabinet members. Therefore, indicting HRC would lead to indicting Obama and his cabinet, etc., which could never happen. Remember, he lied about knowing, but that ultimately came out in the dump. Poof. Snow White, Godfather 3. Post 92, 11/5/2017, 155:46. Says Seth Rich. Only mentioned because it directly relates to SA, Las Vegas. What hotel did the reported gunfire occur from? What floors specifically? Who owns the top floors? Top floors only. Why is that relevant? What was the shooter's name? What was his net worth? How do you identify a spook? What can historical data collection reveal? Was there any eyewitnesses? Who? Was he registered as a security guard? Why is MS-13 important? What doesn't add up? Was there only one shooter? Why was JFK released? What did the JFK files infer? Was there only one shooter? Who was in LV during this time? What was the real mission? Speculate. Why are survivors dying randomly? What do each of these survivors have in common? Did they talk on social media? What did they say? Were they going to form a group? Why is this relevant? How did they die? What CIA report was released by WK, WikiLeaks? What can control a car? How did the two of the survivors die? Car crash? How does this connect to SA? What just happened in SA? Who owns the top floors of the hotel? What happened today in SA? To who specifically? Was POTUS in LV that night? Yes? No? Why was he there? Who did he have a classified meeting with? Did AF-1 land at McCarran? What unmarked tail numbers flew into McCarran that night? Trace AF-1 that entire day. What did you notice? Classified. Aha. Remember? I certainly do. Post 93, 11/5/2017 at 2:06 even. Anon says, is HRC just a puppet and the goal is to take down her minders and the real kingpins? To which we get the response, correction, HRC was a puppet, but her strings were recently cut. She's now on her own and fighting for her life. Post 94, 11/5/2017 at 2:14:12. Anon says, if she's not, I think they're gunning for her. How can she repay the money sent to CF for influence? Do they have Huma? And the response says, review my other threads. This is why complete graphics are so important. BO paid the debt prior to leaving office. HRC is not currently in SA. Bill wants a deal. Playing the former president's card. Watch the cookie quickly crumble. Where does Soros fit in? Godfather 3. Post 95, 11/5/2017 at 2:17:24. Says what happened in SA will happen here, Asia and EU. Keep digging and keep organizing the info into graphics. Critical. God bless. Hillary and Saudi Arabia. Snow White. Godfather 3. Post 96, 11/5/2017 to 26:35. Again, responding to an anon. Says Obama sent $221 million to Palestinians right before leaving office. The payout. And there was the Breitbart article highlighting that at the time. The response says, how amazing how things make sense once you are asked a question. That's the entire point of this operation. It's up to you all to collect, archive safely, and distribute in a graphic that is in order with the crumb domes. It will all make sense. Once it does, we look to you to spread and get the word out. Timestamps will help you validate authenticity. Your president needs your help. He wants full transparency for the great people of this country. Everything stated is for a reason. God bless, Patriots. And the sign-off. Post 95, 11/5/2017, 18:15:25. Says game theory. Define. Why is this relevant? Moves and countermoves. Who is the enemy? False flags. Shooter identification. Shooter history. Shooter background. Shooter family. MS-13. Define hostage. Define leverage. MS-13. Shooter. Family. Hostage. Force. Narrative. Race. Background. Why is this relevant? Flynn. What is Flynn's background? What was his rank? Was he involved in intel ops? What access or special privileges? Why is this relevant? Setup. Who wins? Who becomes exposed? Who knows where the bodies are buried? Who has access? What is MI, military intelligence? Who was part of military intelligence during BO term? Who was fired during BO term? MI. Why is this relevant? Reread complete crumb graphic. Confirmed good. Paint the picture. This information exists and is necessary. 10 days, darkness, war. Good versus evil. Roadmap of big picture is here. Review post happenings. Clarified. Crumbs not only for Paul, the silent ones, others monitoring, friends and enemies. Instructions. Snow White, Godfather 3, and of course, the sign-off. And let's see here if I can find where I'm at within the book. The one thing I will highlight that is in the graphic that got overlooked, not in the aggregators, dating back a little bit here. This and on here from 11/4/2017, Saturday 23/31/14 is in the graphic. It says 2 Mexicans were found murdered in their car in South Carolina 1 day after Seth Rich's murder. Looks like Q is saying those 2 chulos were MS-13. Hillary's going to get her neck stretched. So that was one that doesn't technically show up in the aggregators, but is indeed in the graphic. Let's see. Alright, so this is post 98, again confirming the graphic as they built this all along. 11/5/2017, 18:16:51. 18:16:51, yep, there we go. Alright, so it says graphic is good. Please update and continue to log. Important, more than you know. Review each sentence, post happenings. Big picture. Signatures have necessary meaning. Snow White, Godfather 3, and the sign off. So we get to post 99, which is 11/5/2017, 18:40:38. See if I can get that caught up here. There we go. Graphic good. There we go, finally. So, U.S. assets. Location. Who was arrested in SA? Define. Background. Huma? Foundations? Institutes? Soros. Who was killed in SA? Who fired? Who really fired? Why would we fire? Follow the money. Who pulls the strings? Strings detached. Open season on puppets? Who are the puppets? Where are the puppets? Global, MSM, Mockingbird, Secret Agents, A. Cooper, Family Background? Why is this relevant? Anderson Cooper, right? We know the history. Carrying on, post 100, 11/5/2017, 1841-11, says, who is the Queen of England? How long in power? With power comes corruption. What happened to Diana? What did she find out? Why was she running? Who did she entrust to help her flee? What was the cover? Why is this relevant? Why now? Old. Connection. News. Bad actor. London mayor. Background. Affiliation. Connection to Queen. British MI6 agents dead. When? How? What was reported? What really happened? Why is this relevant? Wealth. Corruption. Secret society. Evil. Germany. Merkel. Migrants. Why are migrants important? Assets. What are assets? Define assets. Why are migrants so important? What are assets? Why are migrants so important? What are assets? Why are migrants so important? Operations. Satan. Who follows? What political leaders worship Satan? What does an upside-down cross represent? Who wears openly? Why? Who is she connected to? Why is this relevant? Spirit cooking? What does spirit cooking represent? Cult? What is a cult? Who is worshipped? Why is this relevant? Snow White, Godfather 3, Speed. So we carry on. Q Post 101, 11/05/2017, 1908-10. Again, another graphic compilation here. Last one before the big one. Again, putting all the crumbs together, making sure they're in order. Latest Q along with what was posted in CBTS 68. Calm Before the Storm, previous board used at the time over on Reddit, before being banned, of course. And we just get the graphic confirmed. And we also get a bit of a couple stringers here, 0800, 1200, stringer, extract conference 0200Z, etc., etc. Then we get post 102, 11/5/2017, 1917-35, some more stringers here with some latitudes, longitudes, Confuty green, another Godspeed, so looks like a set of instructions. 103, 11/5/2017, 1934-57. We get Anon says, for a God and country. Response, POTUS, you're all heroes, come home safe, Godspeed. 104, 11/5/2017, 1949-15. Says, now is the time to pray. We're operational. God bless the United States of America. Sign off. 105, 11/5/2017, 1954-47. Says, please pray. Operators are in harm's way, high risk, high value targets. Please pause and give thanks to those who had died to save our republic. More to follow. Over to 106, 11/5/2017, 1957-33. Responding to an Anon. Says, how can we help? Ready reply to thread, anonymous. Down, remember what Q said, they were waiting for this, whatever is happening now, archive everything. And it says, they cut the feed trying to shut him down. Remember what Q said, they were waiting for this, whatever is happening now, archive everything. And of course, response, nothing is a coincidence, we are at war. SA cut the strings. They are scrambling for cover and using any means necessary out of their remaining power/control. God bless. Post 107, 11/5/2017, 19:59:21. Code. May God also grant all of us the wisdom to ask what concrete steps we can take to reduce the violence and weaponry in our midst. Note, when we just sent the go orders and when this tweet went live. Coincidence. Pray? 108, 11/5/2017, 20:03:07. Again, responding to an Anon. Checked end phone posting. Excuse the post count. The first extraction order referenced 0200 Zulu time. It was 0200 Zulu when I posted my response. I was saying that 1.5 hours would be plenty enough time for anyone to hide if they needed to hide. So if it was real info, then whoever posted it just broke OPSEC in a pretty bad way. And the response says nothing is as it seems, Anon. What occurred? It flushed BO out. Why is that relevant? Analyze timestamps of my go message to BO's tweet. And of course we found out how important the timestamps were. Back then, still important today. Everything has meaning. Post 109, 11/5/2017 at 20:06:36. Again, responding to an Anon here. We got the sword. So, St. Michael, the Archangel, defend us in battle, be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, Prince of the heavenly hosts, by the power of God, cast down to hell Satan and all his evil spirits, who prowl about the world, seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. And the response, Amen, brother. So we get to post 110, 11/5/2017 at 20:08:46. And it says, MSM, CIA counter ops. We all fall down. 111. Finally get caught up to the graphic side here. 23:34:15 says, important context. What have you learned about HUMA? What organization is HUMA? Which U.S. president is affiliated with HUMA? Why is this relevant? What years did this occur? Who funded on behalf this president? Why is this relevant? What years did this occur? What just happened in SA? Who was arrested? Funds frozen? Why would this former president be funded pre-political days? Repeat. Important. Why would this former president be funded pre-political days? Why is the relevance? Was the MB affiliated to any of these organizations/people? Fast forward. Why are the events in SA so important? Why was JK in SA recently? Why was POTUS's last tweet regarding SA prior to the happening? Why was POTUS Twitter taken down days before under cover of a rogue employee? Refocus again. Who is arrested in SA? Any ownership stakes in U.S. companies? Why is this relevant? Twitter. Las Vegas. Recent events. Why would investment be made in a former president pre-political days? What years did this occur? What faith does HUMA represent? What faith does the MB represent? What faith does HUMA represent? Who are the bad actors? Who funds majority of U.S. senior politicians? Fantasyland. Fantasyland. Was the former president of the United States groomed to be command-in-chief? Is this possible? Is the U.S. political election system corrupt? Who owns poll machines? Soros? Why is this relevant? They never thought she would lose. They never thought she would lose. Fantasyland. Fantasyland. The complete picture would put 99% of Americans, the world, in a hospital. POTUS is our savior. Pray. Operators are active. We are at war. Good night, B.O. Snow White. Godfather 3. And of course, one could argue that that is still playing out today. Who owns the poll machines? Still true? Lord Malik? Soros? All the above? Dominion. Hello. Post 112, 11/5/2017, 23:46:24. Says important to archive. Above and next drops have high probability of shutting down Paul. It is being safeguarded for these transmissions, but not 100% secure. Who owns Paul? Why is this platform being used? What recent events almost occurred regarding Paul? Why is this relevant? Stay alert in main U.S. cities, D.C., sporting events, and other conservative gatherings. Repeat. Stay alert in main U.S. cities, D.C., sporting events, and other conservative gatherings. More false flags imminent. Elections, Tuesday, no longer matter at this stage. Snow White, Godfather 3. Above will have context as news unfolds. Summarize and paint the picture. Critical. 113, 11/5/2017, 23:53:46. Social media platforms. Top 10 shareholders of Facebook. Top 10 shareholders of Twitter. Top 10 shareholders of Reddit. Why is SA relevant? MSM. Controlling stakes in NBC, MSNBC. Controlling stakes in ABC. Controlling stakes in CBS. Controlling stakes in CNN. Investors in Fox News. Why is this relevant? What is Operation Mockingbird? Active. Who is A. Cooper? What is A. Cooper's background? Why is this relevant? Snow White, Godfather 3, Speed. Still relevant to this day. 114, 11/5/2017, 23:56:55. U.S. military equals savior of mankind. We will never forget. Fantasyland. God save us all. Post 115, 11/6/2017, 23:34. We get the Anon. Post a map. Jesus effing Christ. It's a Japanese restaurant. Japan military urgent speech, and the extraction cords are a Jap restaurant. And the response was a whole bunch of exclamation points. I think they were surprised that they caught on that quickly, I guess. So shout out to the Anons from back then for being well on top of it. 116, 11/6/2017, 16:48:58. Says crumb dump incoming fast. Archive immediately. Upload to graphic. Now we get into 117 here. The very next. 11/6/2017 at 16:50:33. Let's see if this will load in here quick. There we go. We get the two ships. Seen those before. Says, why was the arrest of Al-Walid and others important? How is Al-Walid and BO tied to Huma? What did Al-Walid finance BO pre-political days? Why did Al-Walid finance BO pre-political days? What is Huma? Define. What book was BO caught reading? Why was this immediately disregarded as false? What is Post-American World by Fareed Zakaria? Why is this relevant? Why would the President of the United States of America be reading this book? What church did BO attend as pre-POTUS? Who is BO's mentor? How is Al-Walid and HRC connected? Who was HRC's mentor? How is Al-Walid and Bush Sr. Jr. connected? What occurred post 9/11? What war did we enter into? What was the purpose and disclosures given regarding justification? Who financed 9/11? Why recently are classified 9/11 pages being released? What just occurred in SA? What FOIA docs are being publicly released recently? Why is this relevant? What information is contained within these C releases? Why is Christopher Wray important with regards to these releases? What does money laundering mean? What is the single biggest event that can generate many nation states to pay out billions? Who audits where the money goes? $15,000 for a toothbrush? Reconcile. Why did we attack Iraq? Halliburton. Who are they? What do they specialize in? What is oil field service? Why is this relevant? What senior level political officials are affiliated with Halliburton? What is the primary goal? What is the primary mode of influence that drives corruption? What does money buy? How is this connected to SA? How is this connected to Al-Walid? How is this connected to LV? 118, 11/6/2017, 1650-59. Says what family was permitted to leave immediately after 9/11? Who authorized the departure? Why is this relevant? Was anyone else permitted to leave? Repeat. Was anyone else permitted to leave? Was it a private plane? What can private planes carry versus commercial? What airport did they arrive/depart from? What was carried on a private plane to Iran? Why was the bin Laden family here during 9/11? Coincidence? How does SA connect to the bin Laden family? Who in SA is connected specifically to the bin Laden family? What did they deliver? To who? Why? What does money buy? Why are the events in SA relevant to the above? Who is the financial backer for human trafficking? Who is the broker for underage sex? Think SA. How does FB and Instagram play a role in capture? Think Taken. Fantasy, right? Why do select senior political officials have foundations/institutes? What is money laundering? What does money buy? Why is this relevant? What other people were arrested in SA? What are their backgrounds? Are any connected to the Podesta group? Why is this relevant? What do you need in order to prosecute senior political officials? How do you avoid public misconception? How do you justify counter-political attacks to the mass public? Why is information so vital? Is the country divided? Why does the MSM portray the country as being divided? Why is this relevant? Good question. Are we really divided? 119, 11/6/2017 at 1651-29 says, what is money flow disruption? List the billionaires. What family history goes back pre-World War I, II? Why is this relevant? Why did the Bush family recently break silence and attack POTUS? Coincidence? Pre-SA arrests? Who audits the billions paid for war? Who audits the billions paid for environment policy? Side note. Where do the funds go? Offshore? To who? Which entity and or org? What slush fund was recently terminated by AG Sessions? What is Fast and Furious? What is the underlying theme? Money. Who controls the Fed? How did political leaders, talking heads, accumulate assets in excess of $5 million? What was the net worth for each prior to taking office? Reconcile. Why is this relevant? Snow White, Godfather 3. Carrying on. Post 120. 11/6/2017, 16:51:56. Why, by coincidence, is a terrorist attack or mental health sea-level attack within a short time post negative D news? Do you believe in coincidences? They think you are stupid. Puppets without power. They want your guns. Why? No power left. Who funds ISIS? What email published by WikiLeaks connects SA Qatar to ISIS? Was HRC connected? Why is this relevant? Why is controlling the narrative important? Do most people investigate for themselves or simply follow? Why is the MSM so hostile towards POTUS? Who controls the MSM? Why, each and every day, is the MSM pushing a particular topic? Coordinated? Who sets the narrative for the day? How is the narrative communicated to the MSM? What does the NSA/military intelligence have, at least what you know of, that allows for data collection? Think Snowden. Why is the NSA limited regarding ability to capture and unmask U.S. persons? Who sets the narrative? U.S. persons? Who can violate this rule? Who cannot violate this rule? Who is Admiral R, or why is Admiral R so important, Admiral Rogers? Who wanted him fired? Why? Why wasn't Admiral R replaced by POTUS when taking office? Why is this relevant? Who has the ultimate power to designate classification? Who ultimately sets classification? Why is this relevant? Fantasyland. To 121. 11/6/2017, 16:52:24. Says, why were the acts that recently occurred in SA so critically important? What U.S. assets are in place in/near SA? What assurances were made to protect the kingdom? Who shot down the missile from Yemen? POTUS declassify speech, Jap 11.5. Was it really from Yemen? How do we know? Why is this relevant? Who are the puppets? Who are the puppet masters? Who pulls the strings? What provides power? What if U.S. elections can be rigged? How are JFK, Reagan, and Trump different from the rest? Why did JFK surround himself with family, much like POTUS? What if it was bought and paid for? How would this be possible? Why are there no voting ID laws in place? What do you need an ID for? List, compare, laugh. What is the argument for not allowing voter ID laws to be enacted? Why are immigrants important? MB, votes, attacks. Why are illegals important? MS-13, votes, 187. Why is open border important? What did BO say on the campaign trail last year to illegals within the U.S.? What did BO encourage? Was this illegal? Who owns sizable stakes in voter machine companies? Who decides what voter machines are used in elections? Why are some important counties still manually/hand counted? God save us. 122, 11/6/2017, 16:52:48. What does money buy? How do you prevent tampering? Why are most forms of media left-wing? Why is H-Wood left-wing? Why is a narrative so important? Why do liberals defer to racism without proof? No proof. Who is HRC's mentor? What party was he affiliated with? Proof. What party formed the KKK? What party formed the Confederacy? What party abolished slavery? Why are these attempting to erase history? Is a black pop truly free today or enslaved by the D Party? Refer back to black pop crumbs. Why is this relevant? Why is there an attack the day after bad news is published? D. Do you believe in coincidences? Paint the picture. Crumbs will make bread. Operations underway. Operators active. Pray. Snow White. Godfather 3. Post 123. And on 11/6/2017, 1707:57 says, nothing is random. Everything has meaning. Plus, plus, plus. Q. Post 124. 11/7/2017, 1834:55. We get the upside down pyramid, as it were, the plus, 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 plus. We later get the reveal as to what all that means. And of course, we get to the clouds in the sky view. 125, 11/7/2017, 1843:57. A little aerial view from a plane shot. And we continue on and find out the 126, 11/7/2017, 1856:17 says previous was deleted. Curious. Plus, 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 plus. 127, 11/7/2017, 1905:59. The graphic is your key. Let's pause and say hello to the rogue intelligence agencies currently monitoring these threads. Was the money worth it? Titanic. Q. And then, of course, we get to 128, which is the graphic that we just wrapped up. Says, trip added, coordinated effort to misdirect, guide to reading the crumbs necessary to continue. Attached graphic is correct. And let me flash that back over so you guys can see. See, is that going to go? There we go. So underneath the graphic, like I said, trip added, coordinated effort to misdirect, guide to reading the crumbs necessary to continue. Attached graphic is correct. Link graphics are incorrect and false. Graphic is necessary and vital. Timestamps and order is critical. Re-review graphic in full each day post news release. Learn to distinguish between relevant, non-relevant news. Disinformation is real. Disinformation is necessary. Example, U.S. military National Guard 1, false, SA true. Why was this necessary? What questions were asked regarding SA prior to SA events? Why is this relevant? Think mirror. Look there, or here, or there. Truth is behind you. What is a map? Why is a map useful? What is a legend? Why is a legend useful? What is a sequence? Why is this relevant? When does a map become a guide? What is a keystone? Everything stated is relevant. Everything. Future proves past. Future provides past. Map provides picture. Picture provides 40,000 foot. Versus 40,000 foot versus is classified. Why is a map useful? Think direction. Think full picture. Who controls the narrative? Why is this relevant? What is a spell? Who is asleep? Dissemination. Attention on deck. There's an active war on your mind. Be prepared. Operators underway. Operators active. Graphic is essential. Find the keystone. Moves and countermoves. They never thought she would lose. Snow White, Godfather 3, Iron Eagle, Q. And of course, following the kill boxes net down, you realize what that spells out. It says CIA is here. prey. And that was 128 at the time. So there we go, folks. A reread, as it were, of the 128 graphic. It's been a while, obviously, and probably well worth going back through yet again. But nonetheless, again, I felt it necessary, especially given the time and that we're in here. Go back, reread the crumbs. We were told once upon a time to reread daily. Many of us probably don't do that. We've forgotten. So again, it had been since April of last year since we went through this last on another channel. I had done it previously, probably a good 6-8 months prior to that. So here we are yet again. And if you're new to this, it's important to understand what has happened. Obviously, a lot of future proves past type scenario playing out here, especially in the context of what we're seeing play out in D.C. now with the National Guard built up, and who really is in control here? What is going to happen 5 days out from now? Will this campaign continue? We'll have to see. Going to be one of the greatest stories ever written for those that are able to live through it and tell their kids, grandkids, whatever about it, where you were, what part you played, that sort of thing. And so I think the best is yet to come. So, that being said, do appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to listen through. Do share this out. Get it out to your friends, family, and that who are probably laying in wonder as to what the heck is going on here, why the necessary build-up and things, and let them listen to it. Let them go back through this and see what they glean out of it. What do they find? It was a little bit revealing, I guess, perhaps compared to what the story being told out of the media is. Because obviously at this point, people have to realize, they absolutely have to realize at this point, the media has been lying. They have to realize that our justice system is absolutely corrupt based on what we saw play out with the election in 2020. So the time is now. Put it in front of them. Let them see it for what it is and go from there. All right. Well, like I said, that being said, that is going to do it for this edition of Midnight Rider. Not used to doing this kind of in the middle of the day, but hey, what the heck, we'll put it out there. So glad you could join. We'll see you back here real soon. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe on all the various platforms. You never know when we might get deplatformed off somewhere. So, yeah, go ahead and find us there. We'll see you back here real soon. Take care. God bless each and every one of you.